Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday. It's time for some Minecraft. My name is Joel Duggan and we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, which was kind of a combo stream. We did some Lego, starting the Lego Game Boy with the Friday Lego Let's Chat, and then we transitioned into some Minecraft because the Game Boy is a pretty small set. I didn't want to build it all 1 week. So we were messing around on the Mushroom Island, cutting down some mushrooms. We're going to keep on doing a little bit of that today. I also want to just kind of brainstorm and think about the kind of things that I want to build, and I'm starting to get some ideas for buildings. And the biggest bottleneck right now is trying to figure out what I want to do with the central building and how I want to expand from that or pull things towards that. I don't know whether I want to store things all in one spot. I think it would be kind of fun to have waterways and item transportation moving things around. It would be fun to use minecarts if I can to do that too. So we'll have to figure that out. But I do want to make a list of things that I want to make, and I think some of that might involve going to the Nether and getting a better foothold in the Nether. Cosmic Dancer, subscribe to Tier 1, 87 months on an 87-month streak. Thanks so much, Cosmic. I really appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Saturday. I'll play that notification again when I pop into the main screen. The Yellow Boy, hello, welcome in. How's it going? Blast Jordan, Mikatu, bunch of other regulars. Obu is here. Good to see everyone. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday so far. So the Nether situation that we have is not great. I want to figure out what else is there, but I do know that we're going to need gravel for concrete. So I'm going to need a piglin bartering farm specifically for gravel for concrete. And I think also quartz. I think there was, I don't remember the other things that you get from a piglin bartering farm off the top of my head. Justin Toons, hello, how's it going? Where is that other notification? Play that right now. There we go. There's the big 87 from Cosmic. Thanks again, Cosmic. So we will start with some choppy. I think it'll be good to just start every stream with a little bit of tidying or attempt to tidy. We can also drop one of these shulker boxes off to Cosmic. I'm just slowly making the circle wider of the clearing. I have an extra shulker box, I do. I'm still not sure whether we're going to treat this like an outpost, like where someone may have landed and is creating some space stuff, or if I'm going to make this entire thing machine-like, you know, whether I'm going to just cover the entire island. One of the benefits of building on a mushroom island, of course, is that no mobs are going to spawn. So I could potentially create all these really cool dark buildings. I don't have to light roofs up. Like I can create a lot of really cool architecture and not have to worry about it too much. So that's going to be part of the fun, I think. We could do a little bit of both. Maybe I could create like terrariums. If I wanted to create some alien landscapes, maybe I could create some sort of like biodome or something. That would be kind of fun. Although building a glass sphere in Minecraft is not high on my to-do list. They're not the most fun. But I know I want a large smelter. I know I'm going to want bamboo-powered farms. The problem is I just don't know where to put them. I'm trying to give myself enough space around my central island, around my central setup, so that when I come back to build something at the central setup, I'm not hamstrung by what I've built next to it. I'm already worried that the shulker farm is a little bit too close. The Yellow Boy, I've been listening to the Spawn Chunks for a while, and I'm always wondering what exactly is the Citadel. Citadel is a multiplayer server. It's 8 years old. Started in 2017? July 14th, I think. It's myself, Cosmic, Alistair, who you might have heard on one of my podcasts, Steven ESC, who is the co-host of the Spawn, not the Spawn Chunks, of the Citadel Cafe with me. recently had pixel riffs pop by the Citadel to tour my build of Westel. The Citadel's got a couple of build zones. There's a modern city called Southport. There's this sci-fi area, which is new and relatively untouched except for what I've done to it. And what else is there? Medieval district. And I can't remember if there's anything else. I guess there's like a 118 starting zone, but like that's not really, it's just another area on the server. I don't know if that really has a theme per se. Oh, I forgot to bring some mycelium. Let's go get that now. Where are we here? I also need rockets apparently. I guess I could just have these with me, couldn't I? We've been sort of flattening things out a little bit as we go. I don't know if it's going to be something we do long term, but I think it's going to help me just visualize what I'm looking for. Plus, it helps get rid of a lot of the mycelium that we keep on picking up. So what did I say in that last little bit? We talked about piglin bartering farm. We talked about bamboo powered farms. Could probably do a couple of those actually. Shulker box maker. I feel like we could do a chest farm. We could do a hopper. I feel like there's a couple of other things we could do too. Guess we're taking these three down. Let's do that from the top. I wonder if these were designed so that you could take them down from the ground. You had the right tools. Most of them are. Some of them are not. Hey, that's a level 1 hype train. Thanks very much. Blast Jordan gifted a tier 1 sub. And we've got a follow. Appreciate that. That's another 30 seconds if you want to jump in on the hype train. It's a prime sub or a tier 1 sub or 100 bits. At least I think the prime sub counts. Cosmic Dancer gifted a tier 1 sub to Silvery13. Thanks very much, Cosmic. Silvery, if you are not already, you can join the Discord. I see that you have a water keystone badge, which means you've definitely been there before. You're in the way, a cow. Now you can get out. I was looking online for some people that have remodeled mushroom islands, but they've all just made them more mushroomy. So that didn't quite make the hype train, I don't think. But thanks very much, Cosmic. Probably Twitch delays. I should look to see if I can make the hype trains last just a little bit longer in terms of each level. Careful, cow, you might get caught by these hands. This is an assault on the eyes. Bright blue sky, bright sunlight, red blocks falling at your face. Yeah, definitely twice as many brown mushrooms as there are anything else. It doesn't help that I have a ton more gear with me that I really need. Oh no, I'm outside the beacon range. That sucks. Maybe we won't do too much of this. To expand our beacons. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll just do the ones that are within range. Hey, Dalara, how's it going? Don't remember whether I've gone down there or not. All mushroom fields. Feels very familiar. Yep. So I'd arbitrarily decided that 70 would be our base level, and we'd either build up or down to that, depending on what we were doing. We'll repair the axe soon. Preparing an area for some Minecraft farms for emerald production. Cool. We're doing something very similar. We're not going for emeralds, but we're essentially just kind of clearing the planet, as it were, to kind of make room for some inspiration. Get rid of the existing shapes and try to create some new ones. some of the legwork that goes with these larger projects in Minecraft that you don't often see or hang out for. Although I guess Johnny's been doing it with his David dig. He's making a copper aging machine, and he's been digging that out underneath the Windy City for a while. He does that stuff on stream. Because obviously it wouldn't make a very good survival guide video unless you just like showcase the end result, right? Kind of a beginning, middle, and end. I imagine there's probably some updates and stuff happening. I kind of wish that I could have a visual on the beacons. I could probably do it with Mini HUD. It would be nice to have that in Minecraft vanilla. Oh, we're actually a lot higher than I need to be here. Never mind. Next. Cosmic, since you're here, where do you want the mushrooms delivered? I feel like I missed another one of Blast Jordan's puns. We could probably use some of these in the modern city at some point. Imagine the mushroom stem would probably look good. Maybe inside is like wallpaper trim or something. Oh, I just thought of another farm. I want my own frog-light farm. Let's do another page. I don't need a wither skeleton farm. I already have one of those. They're a real pain. I might want a blaze farm. We have a couple on the server already, but it would be nice to have one close by if there's a fortress nearby. For end rods, that would also mean I would want a... That would mean a purper farm. No, not purper. Chorus fruit. Again, the server has one, but not here on the island, so it's not, it wouldn't be loaded in. Like it's time to put a couple of these down. I think we've almost gone for full circle. Coming up on the bamboo farm. I feel like that's a good thing to do. Like maybe once a stream, we'll just make a full circle or half a circle, I guess, as it gets larger. Just to kind of slowly but surely take things down. I thought about going in straight lines too. Just like the primary directions. Just to kind of see what the island would look like with channels or roads carved out. Storage room would be fine, says Cosmic. Cool. I missed the Blast Jordan pun, so I was lucky. That's good to know. My lack of chat room reading ability has spared me once again. Hey, that's another thing too, is that I can just go on a timer. I could just start off in the day, wait for the sun to come up and say, okay, that's enough mushroom chopping for today. This would be a good late night stream. Just put on some music and just go through a bunch of these things like crazy. No cam, no mic, all mushrooms, I can see it. Oh no, I would definitely leave the mic and camera going. I would just label it as like a chill stream or something like that, just so that people were not expecting me to talk that much. Although at that point, like I don't know whether that I would even bother to put that on YouTube, you know? Like it might be worth just leaving that as a stream event only. So something I know I want to do is incorporate shulker box loaders into my storage. So does anybody here have a really good, preferably small shulker box loader? I'm thinking for like bulk items like stone, maybe mushrooms. Although this is probably going to be more manual. But things like having shulker boxes that would be full of planks for fuel or for bamboo for moving things around, you know? Oh, that is a giant ravine. Cool. I'd say we made a big sweep. Looks like we're starting to clear some stuff out. I think the thing that's throwing me off is that I still have these little patches of mushrooms. So I feel like I should probably go around and get rid of a lot of this stuff too. Not that the map matters, but it does kind of throw me off a little bit. It also is a pain because you can't place blocks on these. You have to knock them off first. And I don't know, do these end up growing into big mushrooms at some point? I don't know if that's a thing. Maybe I should be focusing on getting rid of all this stuff, because if they start to grow back, that would be a real pain. You would watch with only music and chopping? Well, that's good to know. I don't have the music on the VODs, which is a problem. So that's another reason why it probably wouldn't be great for YouTube. I wish we could do more with these guys. Can you use mushrooms as fuel? Mushrooms do not get random ticks for growth. They require bone meal. That's good to know. So they're just ugly. Awesome. These are much more of a pain. Would water remove them? That'd be faster. Yeah, that makes a big difference. I feel like that feels more clear. Alright, I'm not going to spend any huge chunks of time doing this. I just wanted to see what it would look like when I remove them. And the verdict is, yes, we will probably take some time and remove them. I really wish my vanilla tweaks pack would work, because I prefer the 3D mushrooms. They look cooler. There's not as many red mushrooms. Might have some up here. Wonder if I have them in the flower ones too. Nope. There's some brown mushrooms. Cool. So we can take those to Cosmic. And I can repair my axe while we're gone. And also get a few levels at the piglin farm. Happy to come remove stuff for me? Cool. I will let you know if that's something that we need for sure. You identify as a mushroom? Oops. Do you happen to have another ghast thing to make into a happy ghast? I forgot the name. Oh, a dried ghast? I don't have one, but there are several in the nether at my location. So for anybody that's not been here on the server before while I've been streaming, this is Cosmic's area called Somerville. Lots of flowers, hence the request for mushrooms. Oh, I should have brought those as well. Spore blossoms. Spore blossoms could be cool for the sci-fi area though because of the particle effects that they do. Here you go, Cosmic. Can't miss it. Dropped off. Yeah, it is a pretty cool place. Lots of flowers and patterns and stuff. I don't think I knew about that build over there. I also don't know if I knew that there was a lake over there either. That's cool. I like these little bushes. Yeah, absolutely use the nether portal in the nether for the sci-fi area. Just be aware that it's not a great nether. It's pretty hairy. Oh, wrong way. Don't wear your Sunday best. That's fair. I mean, you're gonna need some armor for sure. There's lots of skeletons around because it's a it's close to a soul sand valley, which is good for dry gas, but it's bad for skeletons wandering around and being a problem. Oh, feels like they're already angry. Cool. So I'll just repair the axe, and then we'll head back. Holy shaders, Batman. Yep. Yeah, I've been playing with shaders for a while. The frame rate's not great, but I like it so much better. I'm actually thinking about picking up a new video card so I can play with shaders and get like 120 frames per second or something. I don't really notice much difference over 60. I think there's plenty of variation in Cosmic's area. I think the idea is that it's not supposed to look good from above. It's supposed to look like you're in a cherry grove as you're on the ground, which I think is a success. Cosmic Dancer gifted a tier 1 sub to Alistair McFly. So Alistair's a member of the server for people that don't know. Alistair, did you know that you can join the Discord now that you have a sub? Well, that's the thing, Justin. Like, most of the time, the builds are meant to, I think, be viewed from the ground. Especially because Cosmic, I don't believe, has an Elytra or uses them very often. We have a Discord since when? Yeah. I'll remind you, Cosmic, as well, that the server's on 1.21.10. I still have to send everybody the link for the spreadsheet for all the mods that were updated. For those that were watching the Lego stream yesterday, Alistair was actually over to my place about an hour ago to drop off a real Game Boy that he had refurbished, so that when we finish the Game Boy Lego set next weekend, next Friday, we'll have an actual Game Boy to compare it to. Super cool. They're chunkier than I remember. Thanks for clarifying, Justin Toons. Yay, repaired. Alright, we only got one level. Seems weird. Don't want to spend a lot of time here today. Unless you remember the Game Boy Pocket or Game Boy Color. No, I didn't. I only ever had the original. Was the Game Boy 89? I feel like it was 89, right? Because I would have been precisely the right age for it. Right on. Still stuck in Dartmouth, eh, Alistair? Hopefully the travel back to Halifax is not crazy. With one bridge closed, it is mayhem. Okay, well that takes care of a lot of that stuff off the top of the stream, so that's good. Right now, I don't know whether this is fired yet or not. It might have. I guess we could look in the nether. I need to figure out like where a good place to set up a piglin bartering farm would be. Oh, we got a whopping 56 minus 24, whatever that is. 26, 32. We got 32 shards per harvest. That is very slow. Gross. I wonder when that happened. I think that's right. 9 stacks and 24, and this is 56. 32. This is just when I'm noticing it, so it's 149. Henry, how's it going? I feel like I could just put these along the bottom, maybe. It's very dull over here. I should put some lights on that. Better. I wish we had a purple wood. I feel like that would go a long way for decorating stuff. I don't know if that has happened in the last 5 minutes. I doubt it, but we're going to go check. I'd imagine there's not any things left, like, hovering around. No, I don't see any bits. So we know it's not a lossless farm, but that's fine. We knew that was going to be a situation. Some of these things are not retracting either, which is weird. So that's impeding crystal growth. Yeah. 1989, but you didn't get it until 1990 in the UK. Oh, wow. Impressive mix of amethyst and spaghetti? Yeah. He's interesting, all right. So one thing I would like to try and do is some sort of lit road or pathway or something. I think it could be really fun. So I'm wondering if I could... I'll do a little test here just to see where would be a good spot to put it. Maybe we'll throw it out here. So let's just say it's 3 wide, so it's not ginormous. And then we would have... something like that. feel like that could look pretty sci-fi. But then maybe I don't want to have like a railing. Maybe I want the glass to actually be on the level of the concrete. Whoops. Like, that's pretty cool. Feels very sci-fi. It's simple. I would like it better once I get a new texture and I don't have the little dashes on it. Well, it would be even cooler if we could hide the lights, maybe? I don't know about that. If we made it wide enough that you could see the lights, that would be okay, maybe. Or we could somehow slab them or something. I mean, I think that's a neat idea. It would be a lot of concrete, so I may want to come up with some other ways to make it not so repetitive. Ace of Spades, hello, welcome in. Thanks for the follow. Rainbow Gamer Pro, hello. Oh yeah, the glass fog effect. Yeah, I've seen that before too. It doesn't really work all that well with a texture pack, with the way that I think. What is it? It's not texture pack. It's I think it's sodium. It works better with Optifine, as far as I remember. Yeah, sort of like what the end looks like. Yeah, I think that could be kind of cool. I do think I prefer seeing this. So one of the things I thought would be kind of cool would be just having something that's a power source, but then have something come off of it. So I was thinking we could mess around with things like this. Is this the only purple glass that I have? It is. Let's dye some more purple glass. I need to start doing some experiments with flowers as well, so I can see what kind of dyes I can make. So I was thinking about something like this, where we could have something like that. Oops. So we would make it look a lot nicer, but imagine that as some sort of cool looking power crystal or something, right? And we could use glass panes and other stuff. Right. If you use your imagination and have that be something that was maybe generating power. I could see having some sort of cable. I don't know what that would look like. Maybe deep slate because we have so much of it. But then, like, how would you make it look like it's lit? So I could see something maybe like this. Put frog lights down the middle. It would be hard to do. Like, we'd have to have some sort of like breaks in it. As if it was pulling power from that. I feel like the problem is that we'd have to do this at a much larger scale. Because I think these power cables would have to be large enough that we could have what looked like windows in them. So that could be fun too. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, like every building could have its own, or maybe if I had a really big one that was powering 4 buildings or something like that could be kind of cool, right? And these would be much neater looking. They would have a lot more detail, and I would have lights in them so that they would look like they were on, like, alive, and we could probably do some floating glass panes around them to make it look like they were emanating some sort of energy. Like, there'd be a lot of different stuff I could do. I think that could be fun. But the problem with all of those ideas is that I don't know what height to build the roads, because I don't know yet what I'm doing as far as where buildings are going to go. But anyway, I need to take a short break. So if you are new to the channel, I do this once an hour. Gives me a chance to grab another cup of coffee. Gives you a chance to grab a friend and a snack. I will be right back. So something that I was looking at was artstation.com, which is where I go for a lot of my inspiration. I guess that's kind of large. Hold on. Locked? It's locked. There we go. So these are the kind of building shapes I was thinking about. I think those are kind of cool. I like the kind of the top left one in particular is really neat. You can't see my mouse. Usually you can. And then that kind of thing is also really cool. So I mean, obviously these are just black and white sketches, but things like you can see like these lines here. You could imagine those as frog lights or some sort of lit stripe on the building. I could even put like a number or a letter, something here. Could be kind of cool if it was lit up. The angles would be hard to do because we'd have to use stairs or something. So whatever material we use on the outside would have to be made out of stairs or made out of something that had stairs in it. But you can see the scale of it, like a tiny little door down here. You have this big base, and then, you know, obviously your stuff is up here. So it kind of gives you a lot of flexibility. So if you built something, had a base, and then the farm or whatever decided to get bigger than what you had allotted, you can just expand. Like, you just kind of create this larger thing on top of the base. Same thing here, right? Like, I think this could be kind of really fun. I can imagine like crop farms in like big glass domes on the top of something like that. I think that could be cool. But then if you have like these little pops of color, highlighted things. I mean, obviously this is much more detailed than we can do in Minecraft, but I like these kind of pipes or wires or things coming on. Like, that could be material coming in, like shulker shells, bamboo, iron, like whatever we want to put into these things. I think that could be really fun. So the issue that I'm really stuck on right now is this central area here. I've created this circle. I don't know how much bigger I want to make it because I feel like the shulker farm is going to be really large, right? The shulker farm is something I might have to move. I might have to make that higher somehow because any building that we make around that, although you know what, that's not too bad. That's pretty high off the ground. We would just have to make the base and make the exterior far enough away that the shulkers can't teleport to it. But we can create some really cool depth, I think, with it. Be kind of fun. I'm regretting making that orange. I feel like we might be better off with different colors, but we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure about what level to make these roads. I don't know what level we're going to be working with. But I can sort of see a scale of something like this for even our central building. That could be really interesting. Or even something like this down the bottom. That could be cool too. As like a central building go up and then have like an angle and it would be big and chunky. So we're definitely going to need concrete, probably TNT powered. We've got a creeper farm, but it's not super powerful right now. Sand we still have to get here manually. I don't have any allays yet. I'm trying to think about what else. I don't know if I'm going to need a sheep farm. I'd imagine it would be kind of cool to have those colors, but the thing I want to do now, I guess, is test to see what we get for dyes. So I'll grab some grass. Test a couple of chunks, I guess. And then we'll grab some scaffolding and bone meal. And where can I put this as a temporary farm? Maybe we'll put it over here. So I don't know whether flower generation on a mushroom island is similar to how it is elsewhere, but I'm going to use is it F3 and H? Nope. G. There we go. Let's just go with like these chunks here. I don't know how far away from the mycelium I have to be for the mycelium not to spread. That is bright. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Here we find a Joel, migrating from the warm and comfortable medieval area into the cold, sterile and unknown of the Mushroom Island. What he makes will remain to be seen, but one thing is for sure, he will do it with a full inventory. Remarkable.
My inventory is not full. Thanks for the sticker, Cosmic Dancer. Appreciate that. And ATX, thanks for the follow. Ace of Spades, thanks for the follow as well. Look at how bright the grass is here. My inventory is not full yet. No, that's fair. I'm sure it will be. Should probably get some shears too. I guess I don't have to build this big, do I? All right, so that's one chunk. And I'll get some shears. Guess I don't need those on. 3. Nope. G. Shears are in here. No flowers? Really? That's disappointing. Uh-oh. There's no flowers in a mushroom island? Well. Okay then. Yeah, looks like there's no flowers. So no make and dye farms on the island. That's going to be rough. Do we have a data pack for silencing mobs? We do. I just haven't done it. Because I was thinking I didn't want to silence him forever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the mod that Dalara recommended on one of the more recent episodes of the Spawn Chunks. There should be a link on the spawnchunks.com after his email to a mod that allows you to control the various sounds of specific things in the game. So like you could turn down, for example, you could turn down the angry noises of zombified piglins, but not their other noises. I think that's the idea. Only plains and flower forests, and I guess meadows, would be more colorful. The most likely flowers would have been poppies and dandelions, so you could just use rose bushes and sunflowers instead. Yeah. Okay, well, so that eliminates that as a possibility. I guess what I could do is I could try to do a little dye farm offshore. I'm not sure what flowers would happen in a lush cave. It might just be more of the same sort of stuff. Although lush cave, you're only going to get azalea stuff if you're bone mealing moss. We can try going down into a lush cave and bone meal a little bit down there and see what happens. Man, it is absolutely pouring outside. I'm not sure if that's coming through on the mic, but loud enough that I can hear it over the game. I gotta remember that that is a giant pit. Maybe we should not have that there. Yeah, I can use 2 tall flowers. That's somewhat limited. But that takes care of some stuff. So like we can map that out too. Right? So I have a glow squid farm. I think I need to have more spaces for my extra stuff here. I wonder if I could do this setup a little bit differently. I don't use the water very much. Maybe we'll move that. Actually, I don't really use that very often either, do I? That's full, so we'll just... I guess I'll just turn this into bone meal. Get some of our bone meal back. Sound muffler, I think that was it, yeah. Extreme sound muffler. Thank you, Sandy. That's the link in chat for people that are curious. I'll still bring some of this down. I guess I'll bring some of this down into the lush cave, and we'll see what we can do down in the lush cave. But we know that we can get a number of things from Too Tall Flowers. So I can map out a temporary resource. So do I have item frames somewhere? Yeah. So let's just do something over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I do have a sunflower. I was like, wait a minute. So there's the 4 Too Tall Flowers, and we can get several out of each of those. Because we have bone meal for white dye. I just need to start carrying around purple froglets with me everywhere. Right, starts with the basics. So we've got that. That will give us red and pink. Red and pink. And white. So bone meal will give us white dye. Then we've got that. Which will give us red. But then also, combined with that, we can get pink. And then lilac will give us magenta. This gives us pink anyway? I don't remember what those give us. That gives us pink. So we've got pink here too. Minrealm Free, hello, how's it going? Pink, yellow, Light blue, cyan. Do cactus for that. Did I grab magenta? I did not. I could have sworn I brought some cactus. There we go. So we've got a pink dye there. We've got a magenta dye there, right? Yeah. So magenta's done. So I don't need to worry about that because the simplest way is going to be to use the peony. Combining those with white doesn't do anything. We've got... We do not have a glow squid farm yet. But we can make one. No, sorry, not glow squid. A regular squid farm. Do that from there. I mean, I probably will never need this much black dye, but who knows? Am I out of... No. And then we've got cactus farm for green. And because we have bone meal, we can do... I guess I can just add... I need more item frames. So anything we can combine with bone meal, I can just use bone meal to make lime green. And then I can use bone meal to make... I can't pick block a... item frame. So we can do gray and then light gray, all with just bone meal. So I'll probably need to make a small bone meal farm. What are we building today? Right now we're just kind of, we decided to kind of run through the different dyes to see what we had access to. I could have sworn I had more leather. There we go. And because we have red and yellow, we can do orange, which is just a combo. I didn't bring with me. What are my thoughts on the new sprites for the dyes? I think they're okay. I think there could be more unique shapes. I think like the grays are very similar to the pink. I think if you looked at them all in black and white, there'd be a couple that would stand out. The green is okay, the yellow's okay, the white's okay. Again, the white and the yellow are pretty similar shapes. I think it's better if they didn't have all the same bottom. I think they could make clearer sprites, but I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to show you it's like a palette, right? Like it's like an artist's palette. I didn't do purple dye yet. Orange. So we can do orange and red can be combined. Not orange and red. Yellow and red can make orange. We don't have... Cyan is blue and green. So we need a blue. We need a way to get blue. I don't have any cornflowers. I got lapis or cornflowers, but I don't have any at the moment. To, like, you can't multiply them. I don't have a way to get cornflowers. At least, apparently not on the Mushroom Island. That's just not a thing. Yeah, but lapis isn't renewable. That's the problem. Trade with the cleric for lapis? So that's fair. Okay. So... once we get blue, we can get cyan, and we can get light blue. And then once we get blue, we can also do purple. Not the clearest tree, but you sort of get the idea. So what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What am I missing? I'm missing something. I've got the grays, I've got the white. Brown. That's it. The cocoa beans. But I think that might be a good thing to focus on at first too, is trying to get all the dyes at our disposal, because as we build, I don't want to be hamstrung by not having access to the dyes. Cyan is technically also available through pitcher plants. You can't just bone meal a pitcher plant though, right? You have to grow them. No cornflower outside of the 3 biomes I mentioned, which are flower forests, I think. Wegsies has subscribed at tier 1. Thanks very much. I'm sorry that I missed that. That was like 3 minutes ago. Hold on. And that's a level 1 hype train. How did I miss that? Wegsies, thanks ever so much. You can connect your Discord and your Twitch and join the Joel Duggan Discord. Managed to get as far as letting sniffers dig up the seeds and have farmer plants those. I get automatic breaking, so it's easily done with water. Okay, interesting. So someone mentioned lapis as an option for blue dye if we trade with a cleric.
All aboard! This is your train announcer Claptrap letting you know there is a hype train. I'd be a great train announcer. Chew. And I cannot stress this enough. Chew.
Well played, Cosmic Dancer. That's a great sticker. I appreciate the support with the bits for the sticker. Claptrap is a fantastic sticker for those. Chew. Nice. Oh man, thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. If you want to jump in on the hype train, folks, it's tier 1 sub or 100 bits. You get access to the hype train emote if you don't already have them. And as I mentioned before, a tier 1 sub will also get you access to the Discord. Or you can check out patreon.com and join the Discord that way. I was going to ask someone something here. Hold on. Minrealm Free, how did you find the stream? Or have you been here a lot just lurking since it's your first time chatting? So I'm going to grab my little book and we can make a list of dye farms that we need to make. Bone meal would probably be easy with a moss farm. So bone meal. So white dye. Bone meal. And I'm going to say moss. Maybe slash. Yeah. So that'll get us the white dye. And then we need, the easy ones are going to be red roses, yellow sunflower, pink peony. Spell that right? Oh, there's a Y. Magenta is lilac. Those are easy ones. We've got black, squid ink, and then that leads us to gray, light gray. And we've got brown, and that's going to be, there's no other way to get brown, so that's
Roses are red, lapis is blue. Why I should care, I do not know.
SweetSandi. Thanks for the HAL 9000 sticker. That was morbid. Oh, I'm blanking on the name of the thing. What are they? Cocoa beans. Jeez. Brown is cocoa beans, and then we need green is cactus, but that gives us lime because we already have white, and we have orange because of the sunflower. So yellow sunflower, that gives us access to orange. I think I'm gonna have to put a lot of these close to one another so that we can feed off one another. So the really big challenge is going to be blue. That's going to be the hard one to get. So blue could be lapis or cornflower. And that will then give us cyan and light blue. So the lapis I'm curious about, because if we could trade with a villager, that would be a cleric, and then we would just have to have enough clerics and enough rotten flesh, which we get rotten flesh from the zombified piglin farm, or we could use we could make a zombie farm, right? The second tier on the cleric, so it's not hard to get to. That's cool. I'm just realizing I also need a villager breeder. And so blue dye farm trade with cleric. Is that what you're trading? Is you're trading rotten flesh for lapis? With a cleric? Emeralds. Oh. The brown dye looks like bread. I was going to say it looks like crap, but you know, there's that too. You can get emeralds with rotten flesh. Okay, so it's rotten flesh to emeralds. And then, yeah, so.
Silly human, using flowers to make dyes. It is like you don't even know how pretty flowers are. Maybe you should plant some. You will love them. Yes, you will. Don't make me get the laser.
Lapis to blue dye. Who was that? Cosmic Dancer. Thanks for the GLaDOS sticker. I really appreciate it. Hey, look, you know, you got to get the dyes somehow. How do you get dyes if you don't get them from dismantling flowers, disassembling flowers? Alistair will appreciate that joke. This is the new sci-fi area, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, it's a large mushroom island. And we're not going to get the cornflowers in the lush cave. It's more than likely just going to be poppies and dandelions, which sucks. But we could set up some temporary farms anyway. For cactus. Cactus has to be smelted too, so we need fuel. Like some of these farms are a little bit more in depth than one would think, right? I mean, some of this stuff we can just go elsewhere on the server and collect, like the red dye, where we can get from the iron farm. I figured you'd appreciate that, Alistair. There is a Johnny 5 TTS sticker. I just can't remember whether it was really annoying or not. That might be the reason why I don't have it. So cactus farm. I'm trying to think about what we might be able to do quickly. I guess we could start to build up some ink with a squid farm. We could just build a bigger squid farm above the existing squid farm. I'm gonna go. I do want to test to see what flowers we get in the lush cave. I'm sure it's just poppies. Stuff we already have enough of, but Alistair, if you haven't seen it, there is a giant lush cave. I mean, this is the sci-fi zone, but this is my island. So there's a huge desert, though, if you wanted to build something there. I'm planning on mining out some of the deserts, but this lush cave is absolutely massive. It's all lit up, so it's pretty safe, which is great because we've got a couple of things down here. This is the only place that mobs can spawn on my mushroom island. So we've got some glow squid happening. I could just make that taller and potentially get squid, right? And then over here, we potentially have, yeah, a little bit of glow ink, but we've got some gunpowder coming in. This is actually going much better than I thought. I think just because we're building in and around it, we're getting enough gunpowder. I don't know if that's going to be enough when we start using TNT for things, but I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it's huge, right? It's very, very huge. Let me just see if there's a TTS sticker for Johnny 5. I'm sure there is. I thought I usually have the stream stickers dashboard open, but I guess I don't. Let me just... I probably have to sign in real quick. Dashboard. Stickers, global stickers. There's a bunch of Halloween ones. I could have sworn there was. Oh, there's K-pop Demon Hunters. That's pretty funny. I could have sworn there was a Johnny 5 sticker. This is maybe going to take longer than I thought to find it, though. You can't search, which sucks, on the dashboard. Oh, wait a minute. I could have sworn I had one. It's the right genre, right? Of like retro 80s. I've got Ghostbusters one. Very Halloween themed. Yeah, I'm not seeing the Johnny 5. I could have sworn there was one. It must be way at the bottom. The way that they organize and show you these things is really problematic because they don't all load in at once. But I thought the Johnny 5 would have been next to all of the other stuff like HAL and R2-D2 and all the kind of 80s sci-fi ones. Darth Vader. Justin Toons, I'm not sure why the sticker panel won't work for you. It might be regional. If you don't have any bits, then it won't work either. This is fun. Could have used that a couple of weeks ago when I died. Yeah, I don't want to scroll through this forever without sharing the screen. So, like, I can't find it. I'll look to see if I can find a Johnny 5 one. Or if somebody else finds it. I wish there was a way to like share the link. That would be nice.
3 hours later.
100% accurate. Yep. You just want to look at the options? Oh, so the options that you see are not the options that I see. I see hundreds of them, and I only allow some of them to be put in the stream because some of them I find really annoying, and so I don't want them on stream. So if only the ones that are available are as options are the ones that I've allowed. So yeah, we could do squid stuff. This one's gonna be a pain. I guess we could start some of this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess. Take a while to get going. I guess we could make that automatic, but we can't. We still have to replace them. Like we have to plant these, so these are not going to be easy to get a lot of. I don't see myself using a lot of brown anyway. So that's okay. But the ones that are going to be close to the bone meal farm are going to be these ones, right? So we'll probably put the automatic ones close to the bone meal farm.
It was at this moment he knew he had screwed up.
How did I screw up? Dalara, thanks for the Twilight Zone sticker. Appreciate it. Right, so like the 4 flowers that give us infinite dyes, these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll have those close to the bone meal farm, because then with that we also get yellow and orange. We already have pink, and we'll need the bone meal to power them. So like the 4 of these will probably be their own little unit. And then same thing with the cactus is going to be really crazy. The thing is, we can have more than one bone meal farm. Like if I make the cactus its own facility, I can make another bone meal farm at the cactus farm just for lime dye, right? There's definitely room for improvements, and because we're such end game and we have unlimited shulker boxes, like it's just going to be so cool to get everything going. The question is, where am I going to build all this stuff? That's the question. All right, let's go see what flowers show up in the Lush Cave. I'm sure it's going to be poppies and dandelions. I don't think it's going to be anything interesting. This looks like a good enough spot to me. You gotta watch it with creating any surfaces in here and making sure that they're lit up, because it is a lush cave area. So it will spawn mobs on any surface that is not lit. Am I on a chunk border? I'm not. I'm in a chunk. Okay. It's big enough for a test. And I didn't bring any bone meal. Iris Bear, hello. Your island is like the Ocampa homeworld? I'm not sure where that is. Barren service luscious underneath. Is that a Stargate reference? Whoop. Survey says no flowers. You don't get flowers in lush caves? Really? I find that hard to believe. All right, well, I guess we won't be doing any flower farming here. That's annoying. All right, well, figured that out. Science. It's from Star Trek Voyager. Okay, cool. I feel like I need to move this dirt. You can get poppies and dandelions from oceans. Well, yeah, I don't need them though, right? So we're only going to get yellow and reds. Like I don't need them. Most biomes are profoundly uninteresting in terms of flowers. We do have, I guess I should sleep so you can see it on the map. We do have, I think there was a flower forest nearby. I think we flew over one. There's a birch forest. There might be a flower forest in that direction. More birch. That looks like a meadow. So we may be able to get some flowers there. Nothing happening down there. Plains. I like that the map gives you the biome information. Nice. Forest. Oh, there's another outpost. We should go check that for an allay. I missed that the first time we were flying around. Crap. And that is a village. And there's not gonna be any flowers down here. There could be a much larger mesa down there too. All right, well, let's go see if we can get some allays, because that would be some fun stuff to have. Yeah, the closest thing we have to a flower forest might be over there, but then we've got this meadows we can experiment. We could just set up another tunnel or something to that. That could be quite doable. That wouldn't be far as the nether goes. Where is that outpost? Way over there. So, Alistair, and anybody else that's on the server that's watching, I'm sticking my flag in the sand for this, but like there's a cool biome down this way. There's some cool stuff over here. This is all really mountainous. I think this area would be a really cool spot to build something because there's a huge mountain here. So depending on what sci-fi stuff people want to do. There's also an island here, which is really cool. That's really quite unique, actually. Okay, let's grab an allay. But I'll do that after the break. Put this back. Leads. Boat. Shulker box for stuff. I think that's all we really need. Extra rockets. Just in case. Shield. Cool. I'll be all set to go see if we can grab an allay from that outpost when I get back. One more break today. I've got another hour before I got to go. So I will grab that now. Grab a friend. Let them know that we're streaming. We're always trying to grow the channel. And I'll be back in just a few minutes. We should be sending off in that direction. Yeah, close enough. Flower farms are not easy on Java? No. I was hoping to do as much as I could on the island. We do have the oceans around it, but again, it's not going to be great for flowers. I guess I should have slept. Oh well. Did I bring a bed? Probably didn't. Nope. Alright, well, this will be challenging. This is not close by. Hopefully there's an allay. Gappy the guy, hello, how's it going? Minecraft is okay. We're doing a lot of planning. I haven't been doing a lot of building. So we started off the stream chopping down some mushrooms. We've been planning out the kind of dye farms that we want, knowing I'm probably going to need dyes for concrete and stuff like that. And now we're going to try to grab an allay. There's something lit up over here. Curious what that is. Oh, sea pickles. Okay. Cool. The coral reef around this place is huge.
Welcome back to the dark side. I mean, the stream. The stream. Nothing dark here. Only light. And cookies. And rainbows.
That's an odd thing for Darth Vader to say, Cosmic. Thanks very much for the TTS sticker. It is pretty dark, though. It is nighttime. There is the pillager outpost thing. Are there going to be any allays here? Oh. I'll take some free stuff. Where are you? Yay, there's some allays. Good. Good. Probably a lot of pillagers too. Well, maybe not because it's on an island. Oh, there we go. So I only need a couple of these guys, and we should be good. There's 2 in there. Don't see anybody else around here. Nothing over here. I think it's cool that the shader pack kind of gives the LAs a little bit of a light source. Kind of fun. They glow. Their eyes glow. It's cute. Don't go away. There we go. No, I don't want... Can I get in the boat? Can I not? How do I get in the boat? There we go. Sweet. And now we have a long road home. But at least they won't fly off. Yeah, we've got the LAs. So now we can go and we can make more. We can actually put one in the geode farm, which will help. The problem, of course, is that we have a long way to go home. Where's going to be the easiest? I guess we'll just go in the straight line this way. Taking care of these little tasks on stream is always... It feels like I'm not doing anything. Like I'm so used to having been, spending 5 years in a building area and having it been mostly building for, I want to say 3 or 4 of those 5 years. Like the planning stage for Westhill was not super long. I do remember that it was slow going at first though, so we'll probably have some slow going bits here too. I'm wondering if one of the easiest ways to get ink happening on the island would be to just increase the height of the glow squid farm. I feel like we could probably get away with some... I need to make those things more permanent. They feel very temporary. Now that we know the creeper farm is working, I could also just expand the floors on it, and that will create more output, and then we can start decorating it to make it look cool. You need ocean or river to farm squid? Oh. Well, we've got ocean. That's not a big deal. So we could do an offshore squid farm. Yeah, I think we are going to try to do the clerics for lapis. We'd have to do something to get rotten flesh though. We've got the zombified piglin donut in the nether, but like that's not exactly not exactly here. So I could build a zombie farm, like another mob farm. So we might have to choose our locations for these things better. Uh-oh. I need to go around this. I guess we'll go south. Building a whole new place from scratch in a style that's not easy to replicate in Minecraft. The planning time may be longer because of that. Yeah, I'm starting to get some ideas in terms of shapes, for sure. I think the problem is just committing to a location. The dumb thing, of course, is that I can undo anything. Like if I don't like what I've built in Minecraft, I can take it down. The problem, of course, is that we're going to end up with, like if I do that, especially if there's glass involved, it's just going to take a long time. And I don't feel like concrete is very easy to mine up either. I got to remember that sea pickles are a renewable light source as well. So if we don't need to see the light, but we don't need to see the source, but we want to see light from something, we could use sea pickles as long as there's water. Concrete resistance and mining, yes, yeah. So that's the thing, like I want to make sure that I make good decisions for anything that's made of concrete. I feel like some of our stuff is going to be made of stone, ironically. I like the idea of having white buildings, but I feel like we're going to have some accents that are a little bit different. What is going to be the shortest distance? Probably straight ahead. You can also melt sea pickles for lime dye. Well, that's good to know too. Can sea pickles be automatically farmed? No. The server's gold zombie pelican farm does collect zombie flesh. Yes, it does. It does, yeah. It's just not nearby, and I have to be there to get it. So if I made a zombie mob farm, or like a regular mob farm on the island somewhere, then it would be loaded in all the time, right? Don't hit... Oh, I thought that was a cactus for a second. You guys are not the smartest. Where are you going? Maybe if I do this. Come on. Okay. I don't remember what I named the gas. Did I name the gas number 1? I think I named the gas number 1. Where are you going? For a flying mob, you like to stay on the ground an awful lot. Crap. All right. Less jumping, I guess. Get a right clicking with an item. Cool. It's all right. We got this for now. I will just put them somewhere nearby. Sweet. Now that we have those guys, we can do cool things. You need a lot of zombie flesh for reasons. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, we can probably come up with a way to get that kind of stuff. I want to make sure they don't despawn, so I want to give them some name tags, too. Did we name this guy? I feel like we did. Can't tell. Maybe not. I really dislike that you can't get them to come to you without a snowball. I should leave a snowball in my main chest here just for convenience. Or maybe I left one. Did I have a chest out here? I might have left one in a chest out here. I don't think we've name tagged this guy. Yeah, I did. I just didn't remember that I was smart. So he's got no name tag. Oh, maybe I did call him number one. Cool, so hopefully they will not despawn. As far as you know, you don't have to name them? No, I just thought it would be something to do. I think the thing for me is that because I'm using teleporting going back and forth, that's why I wanted to make sure. Just to make sure. All your stargates are rotten flesh powered. Oh, that makes sense, Alistair. Okay, so I guess we could start to think about shapes for this kind of stuff and height. I know that I want to plan out storage. So if I have some barrels, I'm more than likely going to use barrels. I'm more than likely going to need some hoppers. And I don't know exactly a shulker box loader off the back of my hand, but I'm sure I could find one. I don't think I want to use chests. I think I want to use barrels. And I guess we'll just use some concrete for now. So if I was to design like a storage area. Let's just say we've got a barrel here, and that has got a hopper going into it. Potentially more than one. Because I would want to have probably a shulker above that. So this would be full of shulkers, and then this would have a single shulker. It probably can't be there. I guess it could if I have everything behind the wall. Right? So then somewhere here, there needs to be a shulker box loader. Yeah, I guess I could use, this could just be manual. This doesn't have to be coming from a system. I could just have this be whatever. And I don't know. I guess we could just have shulker box loaders. And I wanted to have like a combination of this full of stuff, this full of shulkers that I would like, parts that I would need. So like if this was full of stone, for example, then this would be stone and stone stairs and things like that. Maybe even two of those. That could be doable. And then I could just have a shulker box loader that would drop the shulker box into here. Depending on what the shulker box loader would need, we would just have that be far enough back that our main storage would look like this. And we would probably have like we have in here, I would probably just do bays of 3. I think that would make sense. But I would probably bring it out. Something like that would be cool. Although that only gives us 6 different things. Are you planning on using copper golems, either for storage or decoration? I don't know. I feel like there's going to be multi-floors. I feel like I'm on the fence between... Really funny. I'm on the fence between having everything in a storage area like this, and or having the storage underneath the farm. So like putting the shulkers in the building that has the shulker farm in it, and then putting the sugarcane in the building that has the sugarcane in it. Although more than likely what's going to happen is that the building that's got the sugarcane is going to also have gunpowder and rockets, right? And so like it'll be its own thing. So we'd have to try to find a location where I can do either pull gunpowder from the creeper farm or just have another lush cave, because we had this lush cave over here. So I could make a lush cave rocket here. I don't think this has a ladder or anything. No, this is just to fly down. Eventually we find the lush cave. A long way down. Oh, I forgot that I have a soft drop here. So yeah, there's a lush cave here that we could make a little creeper farm in, right? And then we could use that to then put gunpowder up into the rocket farm. So like that's one way we could do the farms. Oscars, hello. How's it going? How'd you find the stream? I think I might do some retexturing too. So like I don't think we're gonna keep the barrel texture. I'm gonna try to change that into something that looks like a sci-fi vault or something. Same thing with the LAs. I think I might take the texture of the LAs and make them look like little robots. I think that could be fun. I'm not gonna change them drastically, but I think it would be fun to create like a new little model for the LA and then just like have it look like a little droid. I think that could be fun. Anybody remember the 80s movie Batteries Not Included? I think that would be really, really fun to do. Doing good. How about you? Yeah, Saturday, pancakes and Minecraft. Like, can't complain, right? So the problem with, of course, the shulker box loader is that you have to have the shulker boxes coming in. So I don't know if this... I feel like what's going to happen is the shulker box farm is probably going to need to be more central. We might need to make the shulker boxes... I mean, that's pretty close to the main area, so I feel like we need to create these shulker boxes and then have them be provided to other farms, right? So if I've got rockets over here that are being made, I kind of want to have a shulker box loader here. I don't want to send rockets on their own. I want to send a shulker box full of rockets into the main storage area. And I don't think I would ever need more than a single chest, right? Full of anything. Yeah, a droid model would be fun, and that would be something I could start to stream too. Like I could maybe do that on Fridays. On Fridays I don't have a Lego set to do. I could maybe do some texturing or something like that. I think that could be fun. We've got a list of things. I think it's barrels, chests, and there was something else I wanted to retexture for sci-fi areas. I can't remember what it was. It's in the book. Furnace, maybe? Note block. Yeah. Note block, scaffolding, chest and trap chest. Barrel. Furnace. So I want to try to come up with something. I might either come up with something or I'll just find something online. Love the burger flipping robots. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of too. Yeah, I think the idea is that they're going to be each producing their own thing. I was looking for a piece of art that I found earlier, but I can't seem to find it anywhere. And it was like this really cool sci-fi sort of like batteries or like buildings or something. And they all had like numbers on them. I don't know whether I saw it online or whether I saw it on YouTube or something. But it was a really cool vibe. And I'm quickly trying to search through ArtStation, but I'm just not seeing it. The reason why I don't put ArtStation up on stream when I'm scrolling through is because sometimes there can be not safe for work stuff that comes up. Even when you're looking for like sci-fi architecture, you can still get some very odd results. Yeah, I can't seem to find it anymore, which is annoying. And I thought we could try and make the buildings thematic, right? So we could try and do like green highlights for the green one and stuff like that. So rather than just twiddling my thumbs here, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to pop into the Nether and see what might be worth bookmarking, because I want to do a piglin bartering farm, which means I would need a source of gold too. Not the bed. I want that. And I guess I just need some simple blocks. Maybe we'll grab some stone. I'm sure the Nether is going to be a mess. Can you use custom model data to apply custom models to entities, for example? Then you don't have to have them be a global texture, but model only in the sci-fi area. They'd look like robots. Yeah, that's the idea, is that I'd want the texture to be something that would load in when somebody was here. I don't know how to do that. I'd have to look up how to do it. So unfortunately, the Nether is pretty precarious. Maybe we should just make a different portal and kind of scope things out. Now, I did not have an elytra the last time I was here. Would not be a bad idea to remove some of this lava. But we do have... There's a warped forest over there. Don't see any basalt deltas for our froglight farm. No, mostly nothing good. Soul Sand Valleys. Oh, nope. Again, I thought it was a basalt delta, but it's a Soul Sand Valley. It's really broken up. It's not a great Nether to move around in. Piglin Bastion. So we could do... We can use a mob spawner in there sometimes. I think that's how another way to do a farm. So that could be good. The Piglin Bastion is nearby. Don't tell Sandy? Yeah, that's fair. This is all just nether wastes. Yep, Soul Sand Valley. So not a really fun nether. Really challenging, unfortunately. Crimson Forest over this way. And I think we were over here. Trying to remember where we come in. Thought it was over here somewhere. So Piglin Bastion could be a potential spot for a magma cube froglight farm. I'm definitely lost too. I know that we had some floating stuff. And I know that the Crimson Forest was nearby. I think it's up here. Aha! So yeah, obviously not the easiest way to traverse the nether. So I'm going to create something over here that is easy to spot. See if that looks good from elsewhere. Yeah, okay. Hopefully that'll help us find our way home when we need to. Maybe we'll make these a little bit taller as well. And maybe we'll even take the time to seal this up. Yeah, that should be easier to find. Laxus compass. Yeah, I know what you mean though. We could definitely do a little bit better. It's just unfortunate where it brings us in, right? So we know we've got a potential bastion farm. So that's good. What? I guess I'm trying to think about what we could do. I guess I could start thinking about where the boundaries of this could be, what the height could be. I do have this image that I quite like. And I found this one on Brick too. wonder what the scale is for that. That could be kind of cool. We did like a 3 by something door. I'm wondering if it's going to be easier to start building things around farms. I guess the problem is that I just don't know where everything's going to be. Is there anything here that we could start? We could probably start a cactus farm. The inspiration images. Thanks. Yeah, ArtStation's great for that kind of stuff. I really like it. I feel like that's an okay sized door. Maybe if it was 3 by 4 or 5. Well, that's probably 3 by 5. 1, 2, 3. No, it's 3 by 4. I don't have a way. I don't know how to do a piston door that would close that. If I did double pistons extenders, I could do them from the top and the bottom, maybe? What I'm trying to figure out is like where would be the base of this central building. And I'm leaning on something very similar to either this or this down the bottom. And if we were going to do a color palette, I guess we could do something where we've got some gray bits, because I'd need to use something with stairs. So what kind of stair blocks do we have? So andesite and stone are 2 easy ones. We also have deep slate stairs. Tough as well, could be good. I'm just thinking about like neutral stairs, and we've got quartz, smooth quartz. That might look weird next to concrete though. And I don't think copper might look okay. I feel like there's been a lot of creators that have used white and orange as like contrasting colors for sci-fi recently. Rendog did a lot of white and orange in the recent season of Hermitcraft, so I don't want to go down that road. So I feel like andesite, stone, tough, polished tough specifically could be cool. Let me just do like a quick test here. If we did like a bunch of concrete. I also don't know what I want to do for light blocks. There's no way. Sea lanterns. I almost need to like create like a palette of stuff. Okay. Let's make sure this faces. Maybe we'll do something over here that faces east-west. So, I don't know, about here. And then if we had stuff like this, but with stairs on angles, and then in here, was frog lights. Whoops. And then the opposite way, same idea. Whoops. Very tricky to build, I'm sure. So the light would actually be quite a large strip. It's like 3 wide. You could sort of see how something like that would look cool at a much larger scale. So if we're looking at some of these, oh, was it that one? No, it was this one. So you can see like this, these angled stripes through here. If I wanted to do something like that, it would have to be much bigger. But I think that could work. I might have to start doing some concept art for this. I feel like I'd want to try to have something in here that was lit, but maybe wasn't a grid like that. So one idea that I had would be to use glass and concrete. I'll get some purple concrete and some purple glass. I'd still use the purple frog lights. But it might not be something we can do on an angle. Right, so you put that there, you put the glass here. Yeah. Right, and you put the purple concrete here. But then you put the frog lights elsewhere. They have to go outside of glass. So technically here. So then it's lit up, but it's lit purple, right? And you're going to see the lights from angles. Like you'll still see some stuff. I guess it depends on how far you take this, right? If this continues to go up at an angle, then you would continue to hide it. But it's still very lit, right? And then whatever color we put in there, would be the color. I mean, we'd vary it up, right? Could change it up. Right, so you can make it quite bright. Then the trick is how deep do we need to make walls? Because I think a lot of these walls are going to need to be like 3 to 5 blocks deep, right? That's already 3. I feel like we could even go farther if we wanted to. And I don't even know if we need the glass, right? Like it could just be, could be fine without the glass. The glass doesn't seem to make a big difference, right? The glass could be used to change the color. So if you wanted to have purple in the background, but blue, it's a technique I used in the Nether a lot, where sometimes if the color wasn't right, you could kind of glaze it and it would appear slightly different. So blue and purple. Actually, I've got more of the cyan. Let's try the cyan. But because you're hiding the edge of the glass, and because I've got a connected glass texture, it works out pretty well. So then you've got 2 different shades of purple. Not that you would want to put them all in the same row, but if you wanted to have a different building, then you could do stuff like that. The Black-Clad Wanderer, hello, hello. What about with shaders? What do you mean? Or you mean without shaders? Without shaders, still glows, but not nearly as much. So the only problem here, of course, is that we're hamstrung by whatever we've got stairs in. Unless at the scale we build it a regular line would work. I also think we could do something like this where we change the angle on it. Right, you can take it from an angle to a straight line. Just that kind of stuff could be kind of fun to mess with too. And here what we would probably do is then remove all these and then put stairs in here. So it'd be a fun way to add details to the building, I think. Yeah, the glass has a subtle effect when it was in there. It certainly mutes, if you see the actual light, it mutes the light a bit. You can see that over here when we were messing around with like a road design. And that here you can see how bright they are with the shaders on. And even if I turn the shaders off, I mean, they're still quite white. But if you get up here, it mutes everything. It's subtle. It's crazy how much my frame rate changes. Like just how smooth this is compared to when I have the shaders on. I mean, it's also raining right now, which is not great. But so I need to have a better plan, I think, for the next Minecraft stream, which is going to be on Tuesday. So I've got some concept art to look up, I think, and try to figure out what I want to do and where I want to make certain facilities and how big this could be. I think once I establish a base platform, like once I establish the style for a base platform, I can build the section I want to have my storage in as large as I want. It's more that I need to figure out how big I want the base to be in terms of like the circumference, like what dimensions do I want the bottom to be here. I'm thinking it's going to be square or square with like chamfered corners. Like it might come out like this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. And then go in that direction. So not quite square. Like that kind of shape, I think could be kind of fun. And pretty easy to do and plot out with stone or something with these 4 beacons in the corners. Like we've got InstaMine for everything we want to do, so that should be pretty easy. Not quite an octagon, no. More like I don't know if I have any top-down examples that I could use from ArtStation, but sometimes there's some stuff I can show off. Don't see anything that's really clear. There's a lot of round buildings, but I don't want to do too many round buildings. Something like this could be fun too, right? Like creating like outposts, and this is what I mean by having a bunch of different farms. Like you can imagine like red dye farm, pink dye farm, yellow dye farm, and then have them all combined in the middle, and then have them shoot out somewhere. Like we could probably do some fun stuff in that way. But yeah, I'm not seeing much for. That's a fun shape. It's a small model, but like you could imagine if this was like if the player was the size of the plant, like this could be a really big thing. But yeah, I'm not seeing the shape necessarily that I want to show off.
Happy gassed? More like yappy gassed.
Yeah.
Right? And dramatic pause for laughter and applause. And done. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here all week. Tip your waiters.
Well done, Cosmic. I agree. They're pretty chatty. Pretty chatty. There's some cool shapes too, right? Like we could do all kinds of really cool stuff. As long as like if it's brutalist enough, like if it's chunky enough, I feel like we could probably get away with some cool shapes. I'm looking for the kind of shape that I want, and I'm not necessarily seeing it to answer. I think it was Sandy that was asking. I thought I really wish I had bookmarked that shape when I saw it. It was pretty cool looking. But anyway, you can sort of see the general vibe, right? Just kind of boxy, often on a narrow bottom. They do sort of look like mushrooms sometimes, which is funny and ironic. But the shapes that I'm going for are in this kind of realm. It'll be difficult to do if there's no stairs. We'll have to build at a very large scale to get any kind of shape that we want, so that'll be tricky. But I'm quickly scanning. I'm just not quite seeing what I have seen before. Which is the problem when you're browsing and you're not bookmarking. So I'll have to start like a Pinterest board or something. Anyway. That is where I need to wrap things up because it's 4 o'clock for me. But we got at least a little bit of planning done. We got the allays. That's a big win because that means we can probably make the amethyst farm a lot better in terms of loss. We did not get very much. So we've only got like 32 per harvest. We did figure out the dye though, so we know we're going to want some color around here, and so having some dye farms I think is going to be essential. I think I might start with that rocket factory might be a good idea, and the fact that there's a lush cave right over there where that green pillar is, we could probably have a rocket factory. If we built it over here, that's going to be far enough away, I think, from my central building that it's not going to be an issue. So we could probably build a rocket factory over there. And then we could also figure out like where would make sense for dye farms and things like that. I have to figure out whether I want to make the factory like right in line north-south, or if I want to have like a road that goes out and then have the factory like off to the left or the right. It's probably going to be safer to do that. That's why I was messing around with that road design, path design. I don't know exactly what to call it. I think it would be cool if we have those power conduits going around like I showed earlier. Then it would be nice to be able to walk along a road. It would be cool if we could see like some random power cable kind of like laying around. But I haven't decided if I'm going to completely cover the Mushroom Island or if I'm going to add to it, like add on top of it. So I haven't really sorted that out yet. So we have to kind of figure out what we're doing as far as laying the groundwork goes. I do really like what Rendog did in one of the seasons of Hermitcraft where he built like a circuit board on a Mushroom Island. I thought that was very cool. So we'll have to see what we can come up with there. But either way, I am going to pass you along to somebody else playing Minecraft. So just give me a second to see if I can find somebody here. Bring up my other browser. Refresh my feed. We've got Short Zelda is live. I can send you all over to Short Zelda unless anybody else has a Minecraft streamer they want to recommend, but I think that's probably a good shout. Speaking of shouting, Short Zelda is very excitable, so you might find the volume over there is louder. So just be aware if you're wearing headphones. I will be back on Monday with the Spawn Chunks with a new episode that's available on your favorite podcasting app as well as on YouTube, and then of course back here on Tuesday with another Minecraft stream, hopefully with a better plan and some inspiration art set aside for things. You can follow me on social media, Joel Duggan, and check out patreon.com/Joel Duggan. It's one of the best ways to support me. It's only $2 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee, and it keeps me streaming basically daily. I take 2 days off stream. Sunday is just my day off. Monday I do podcasting, so I can't stream on that day. And so then Tuesday is the next one. So if you like this kind of content, one, for free, you can just tell a friend. It just costs you nothing. The more people that watch, the better things that happen. But if you want to support financially, I would really appreciate it. Check it out, patreon.com/Joel Duggan. Enjoy your time with Short Zelda 22. I will see you later. Bye for now.